I'm Peter with ProLifeNews.tv and NationalProLifeRadio.net, and I'm standing with Jesse Lee Peterson. Actually, it's Reverend Jesse Lee Peterson.
Right, but you could call me Jesse.
All right. Well, thank you, Jesse. You spoke today at this luncheon, the Pro-Life Leaders Luncheon, and there were a lot of people here that represented the black population, and,
yes.
and there are a lot of strong messages to the black population that they have to get up and out and do something.
Yeah.
Can you add to that?
I am absolutely convinced that if black Americans were to join together, along with white Americans, but join together and fight against abortion, close down the clinics, the so-called clinics in the black communities around the country, if the churches, black churches, were to get up and say, you know what, we're going out today and do something about this, the abortion issue would change overnight. It's just that black Americans have been quiet in the past, and they have allowed themselves to be used by the National Organization of Women Who Hate Men, Planned Parenthood, who hate black babies and white babies, but especially black babies. We've been quiet on this issue and allowed these people to use us to further their own agenda. And if we stood up and said no more, it would change overnight. Absolutely convinced about that.
And like you say, to further their own agenda, and at the same time, of course, they line their pocketbooks with
That's
abortion.
what it's about. It's about money and power. A lot of these abortion clinics, as I said, are in the black community. So these kids are going in and having these abortions, but the government is paying for it, and that money ends up in the hands of these abortion doctors, so-called doctors, and Planned Parenthood organization to further along killing the unborn baby and whatever political agenda that they have.
The statistics on abortion, statistically, the black population is pretty heavily weighted toward the number of abortions per year. I think it's about 400,000 a year or something like that. You know, and I think the numbers are about 13 million or so.
Since the early 70s, over 14 million black babies have been aborted inside the woman's womb. Just imagine that. 14 million black babies. Every day, something like 1,540 black babies are aborted. Every day. Before we go to bed tonight, 1,500 or so black babies would be aborted. And that doesn't include Hispanics and white Americans, white women, just blacks alone.
Yeah.
And there is no outcry about that. There's no real serious protest about it. They're just sitting back and allowing this to happen. And this is evil.
Well, I guess, and one of the things that I'm thinking about, now that you bring that up, is you say that nothing's being said about it. And I think that's kind of the point, is that why isn't there anything being said about this? I mean, you're looking at something where if there's just one small incident like a Tawana Brawley or with the Duke incident, something like that, they're just all up in arms. Yet you have over 1,000 black babies killed in this country every single day, and you don't see anything about it.
Well, several reasons. One is that not all, but most black people are racist and hateful toward white Americans. And so whenever there's a white on black situation, Jackson and Sharpton and others pop up out of the woodwork and say, this is racism, And because most blacks are angry toward white Americans or racists, they, in an unconscious manner, scream loud. But whenever there's a black on a white situation, you hear nothing about it. Double standard.
Yeah.
And so a lot of black people are following these so-called leaders, right? And these leaders are immoral. They don't care about what's right. They care about their own careers, and they use racism to further their careers. And so what we got to do, and we're working on doing, is getting the people to realize, black Americans especially, they have to drop their anger, they have to get married, have their children, take care of them, and then they have to stop hating the white man so they can see that all white folks are not trying to hold them back, that they care about what's right, they want to do what's right, and we can come together to represent good.
Yeah.
But until we deal with that, it's not going to happen.
I agree, and I started an organization called Pro-Life Unity, and its purpose is to try to find the ways, the common issues that we have, work together on them, find our strengths.
Yeah.
and instead of focusing on our differences, let's find our strengths.
That's right. And it's difficult for white folks to do that because they don't really know, what to do with black folk. They're afraid to approach them in the wrong way. They're afraid to look at them. They're afraid of everything. So, and they want to come together to work with them. I was in North Carolina about a week or so ago from this day in Monroe County, Crisis Pregnancy Help Center, and they were most of the women that they were dealing with. They work with women and try to prevent them from having abortion. Most of the women were black women, but it's hard to get the black community to work and help them. And the reason for that because black people are still resenting white folks. They won't come together, and white people want to help. They want to get involved. They want to help, but they don't know how to do it. And that's why I say that we, as black people, got to change so we can judge people based on the character and not the color of the person. Then we can work for the good. We can solve the abortion issue, the race issue, and all the other kind of issues going on, and that would put Jackson and Sharpton and all those people out of work. They won't be able to use us by dividing us.
Well, I think it's time for real black leaders, and I've often looked at you as one of those leaders I'd like to see emerge, to come up. You're speaking what the country needs to hear, and I'm impressed that you were talking about Paula Zahn's going to do an interview, and she did one a couple days ago.
Yeah, we were at Raleigh-Durham, North Carolina, at the Duke lacrosse situation there.
Right.
But thank you for saying leader. But I don't really see myself as a leader. I believe what we need is people coming together for the good. I don't have a man leading me. I respect good men and good women of all races. And I learn from them, and so it doesn't matter the color.
Right.
And so we got to get over this mentality that the black community need leaders. What they need are good men and good women to get married, work together for the good. We don't need leaders because Christ is our leader. Christ should be our head.
Exactly.
And the man ahead of his family.
Well, I think that's a good point. And sort of instead of raising the sword and saying, follow me, it's more like raising the Bible and saying, follow God.
Follow Christ.
Follow
because
Christ.
if you follow him, you're going to do the right thing. And you're going to see how to do the right thing. And you will have the power to do the right thing. And you will see the people to work with and those not to work with.
Right.
You'll be able to see those things.
I agree.
If you follow another man, you're never sure as to where this man is coming from or what is right. We need to know for ourselves, and we can know.
All right. Well, why don't you give some information about like a website? Do you have a website that people can go to?
I am a founder and president of BOND, the Brotherhood Organization of a New Destiny. And we are rebuilding the family by rebuilding the man. The website is www.bondinfo.org. That's BONDINFO.org. Okay. And also, if people want to call, some people, especially older people, not into computers, we have an 800 number, and it's 1-800-411-2663. 1-800-411-BOND. B-O-N-D.
All right.
Thank you for doing this, too.
Well, I appreciate it. Oh, and if you could, I end all segments with something that people can tell the people out there who are watching this what they can do. Can you do just a 1 minute?
Oh, okay.
Just 1 minute, and tell people out there what they can do to participate and what they need to do to help make a change.
Okay. Well, the first thing that all people can do is to get over their anger. They got to get over resentment. And when you don't have resentment in your heart, you have perfect love. And perfect love casts out fear. And when you don't have fear, you can move forward. White Americans need to be honest with black folks that I am not your enemy. I'm not trying to hold you back. I want to stop abortion. I want to stop racism. And you need to get over it. And black Americans need to stop hating whitey. They need to drop their anger. They need to forgive so they can see that white folks are not waking up every morning trying to hold them back. And then once they can see that, they can judge people based on character and not color. Then we can come together for a common cause, to work together for the good, to stop abortion, to stop racism, all the crap that's going on in our country. We got to get over the anger so we can see clearer and stop allowing others to divide us, but come together. It's a spiritual thing. It's a battle between good and evil, not black and white.
I agree. Thanks again. Appreciate the time. I look forward to working with you in the future.
Are you going to be there tonight?
Yeah.
Okay, I'll see you tonight.
You got it.
Thank you very much.
All right. Thank you, Jesse.